Be a reluctance on the part of American Muslims to get involved in the political process. Why?
Well, yes, with regard to the educated people, and I think they are trying to catch up. But with regard to the masses, you do not you should keep in mind that not all the Muslim community in the United States is harmonious or is homogeneous. Some of them are not educated, are unskilled labor, and so on, and they maintain the attitude of their home countries in not trusting the government, whatever the government may be. They may realize that this is a good government, or there is accountability, or there is that, or there is this, but in general they inherited from their own countries a sort of indifference towards the government. And in addition to the shock of different culture. So suffering from both attitudes, that they had inherited indifference and they are not absorbing the different culture, some of the Muslim masses are reluctant about this. But all the educated people, physicians, lawyers, academia, all these are going as far as possible in this sort of correlations.
What can American Muslims do in contributing to the society and the culture?
They have an important and essential role, because they can present the real problems of the Muslim countries in a fair way to the American awareness at different levels, starting from the masses to the politicians and the upper ruling people. In the same time, they can present America and the image America to the Muslim peoples in a fair way. Muslim peoples do not know America except through the media and through the spicy or abnormal incidents, raping, violence, something like this. In addition, of course, to the political and the military side. They do not know America, which consists of hard workers, honest people, very caring family people, very caring neighbors. They do not know this America at all. And it is the responsibility of ordinary Muslim Americans to let their Muslim fellow Muslims in their countries know the real image of America. America is not just this politician or this military leader or this or that. It is my neighbor. It is my colleague at college or at business or in anything, my partner in business, the consumer, the customer who comes to my store. It is completely different from what you hear. And as it is said, I read a very wonderful book written by an American woman about women in Saudi Arabia. And she said that the veil in Saudi Arabia is a barrier between the ordinary person and understanding the Saudi woman, which I realized that it is a very false barrier, the same as the media is a bad barrier for the American society with regard to the outsiders. They think that these scattered incidents which happened to be presented in the media because they are important for news, they are not the ordinary life, they think that this represents the normal life in the United States.
Well, finally, Professor, do you think that Muslims' faith, their dedication and adherence to the Quran, whose central message is for people of Muslim and non-Muslim faiths to coexist together in peace, do you think that one tenet of faith is enough to spread this worldwide?
I believe that it is an impetus, a very powerful momentum, but it needs some supportive factors. It cannot work alone. The human being, although he is the Homo sapiens, but he does not follow always his mind or his heart or her mind. many factors affect the final behavior of the human being. So all the efforts of good people should cooperate in this respect, and also the other circumstances which make the word not sufficiently effective, like ignorance. We need education. Education under secular government, under anything. Education is a benefit for the Muslim masses in any way. Social justice, it allows the people to think beyond the necessities, to think as human beings, not as animals who want just to eat or to feed themselves. So I believe that through time, this is happening. Education is improving the abilities of Muslim masses. Economic development, not necessarily ideal, but it is giving more chances to more people. In addition to the spreading of the word and presenting it in a convincing way, this is also improving. All these factors together will present or will create or will contribute to the creation of a preferable atmosphere.
Thank you, Professor. Your explanations have been enlightening.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to have this opportunity to present some facts.
And thank you. I'm Bob Jimenez, and you've been watching Islam in Contemporary Life, Conversations with Professor Dr. Fathi Osman. All right, well, apart from individual historical events that involve the West and Islam powers, what are American Muslims doing? What are they doing to reach out to their non-Muslim brothers and sisters?
I think they are doing what they can. First, there is the interfaith dialogue, there is the media, they have their own publications, but also they are approaching the national media. The national media began to count Muslims within the states and universally as something countable and not to be ignored. So you find they are trying to make use of the media to reach out. Social relations within the neighborhood, within locality, sort of coordination politically and socially. Now the foundation of Umar ibn al-Khattab is having an effort in the registration of the community around the foundation, whether they are African Americans or Latinos or whatever, to vote and to enlighten them about the situation. Any candidate who wants to use any mosque to extend his message to the people, Democrat or Republican or Reform or Greenpeace or whatever, he is the most welcome, because they believe that they are a part of this society and they are trying to reach out. And I think the situation now is far better than before. When I came for permanent residence almost 20 years ago, the situation, and I was educated in the United States before, the situation now is better. With regard to Muslims in being positive, in contacting others, and with regard to non-Muslims in being receptive to what the others
But not
say.
in the political process. Despite increased numbers, despite diversity among Muslim Americans, despite some level of affluence which is growing among them, there seems